subscribe button for continual Buffalo Bills news. And also make sure you like this video as you're coming in here, as people are rolling in, guys. Make sure you hit that like button and share this video if you haven't shared it. Let people know that we are here. We're talking about the Buffalo Bills. I know that Buffalo Fanatic is also live right now, talking about the same thing, right? When unfortunately sometimes when news like this happens, you have it covered on multiple stations, and that's a good thing because you get many different perspectives. I have different perspectives. I'm sure a lot of you have different perspectives. Also, haven't had a chance to talk yet about the Madden ratings. We do that every year. It seems like we get disrespected every year. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well. So let's do this the right way. Let's start this off right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this live edition of Believers Talk, again live every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So thank you for joining me for this edition of Believers Talk, where we are going to talk about the fact that New Era opts out, or they come to mutual agreement that they will no longer carry the New Era field name on what was once called the Ralph, once called Orchard Park. Like, what is it going to be called now? That's something that you question. I'm going to question it. I'm going to put some questions out there to you guys, put some feelers out there. Let me know what you guys think about. Remember, because not only are we talking about now we need a new stadium name. Well, for years it's been on the pipeline that the Buffalo Bills might need a new stadium. So is now even a better time to get that new stadium, and maybe that will go into the contract talks. Hey, Promethean, how you doing? Good to see you in here. It's hanging, right? We're all trying to just get by. One thing that I look forward to a lot are these live streams Thursdays, and they're helping me get by, right? They help me get by. I hope they are helping you as well. So again, guys, thank you very much for joining me as we're getting rolling in here. Hey, Big Tim, good to see you in here. Glad that you can make it in as well. But yeah, like I said, guys, we've been talking about the Buffalo Bills possibly needing a new stadium. What if that is in the works as well? And what if that gets added to any type of contract negotiations that the Buffalo Bills would have for naming rights for some sort of organization, right? What if they say, hey, not only will we give you the naming rights to the final years in Orchard Park, we'll also give you the naming rights to the new stadium, right? Because there's something to be part of a new stadium, something to be said about being part of a new stadium where the NFL kind of promotes it a little bit more. So that's going to be something interesting that we can talk about. FedEx may look for a new one with everything going on in Washington. It's very possible. Very possible that FedEx is looking for a new one, but as I said in the title, also saying on Twitter, what's in a name, right? If you're a William Shakespeare fan, if you've read William Shakespeare, that's one thing he says. What's in a name? And we'll see what happens. We'll see what we'll talk about here, and we'll also talk about, like I said, we'll talk about the Madden ratings a little bit. Some good things. In some places they did show us a little respect. They show us a little bit of love, and I appreciate that. But there are some other areas where you just look at it and you say, wow, we deserve a little bit more than that, especially talking about Tre'Davious White. Tre'Davious White has been live and active on social media as well, talking about how he feels disrespected. Hey, Evil Crazy, good to see you in here. Not much going on. Not much going on here on this Thursday night. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me. Not sure. Normally we try to make these streams an hour long. Not sure if we're going to get there, but that all depends on you guys. You know that these streams go a lot better if I have some interaction with you guys as well. So we'll see if you guys have any questions, any thoughts, anything you want to talk about. That always helps out. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and as some of the regulars roll in here, and again, thank you guys for joining me on Believers Talk for this live edition. I'm just not. I'm in a little bit of funk, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in a little bit of a funk, not just when it comes to this channel, but just when it comes to life in general. Everything going on with the pandemic, everything going on with my current work situation, just a lot going on in life that has me I'm feeling it, and I don't always open up to people and all that kind of stuff, but I don't mind at least sharing that little bit with you that I'm in a little bit of a funk, guys, and so I'm not sure how this stream's going to go, but I know that I enjoy getting on here and hanging out with you guys for at least a little bit. So let's, and I'm sure a lot of other people are going through funks too, so I just wish you guys all the best as you're going through that, and hope that you have someone that you can talk to when it comes to those types of situations. So again, guys, let's talk about this new idea with the name New Era again. bowing out of their contract with the Buffalo Bills for the naming rights of the stadium. Now that will take effect pretty much at the beginning of the 2020 NFL season. So we're not sure exactly. Give me 1 second here. When it will officially, like, what happens if the Buffalo Bills don't find someone to buy the stadium rights, right? The naming rights to the stadium. Well, then it goes back to possibly being Rich Stadium or Ralph Wilson Stadium. It really all depends on what the Pagulas want to do. So we know it won't be renewed in 2023. So I'm reading it now as I'm talking to you guys. So purchased the rights for a term of 7 years. Which we now know will not be renewed in 2023. So what's new? What's going to be the new stadium name? Thank you, Promethean. I appreciate you guys. So what's going to be the new stadium name? What are some things that you guys have in mind, or what are some things that you guys would like to see? Again, the idea that someone would partner with the Buffalo Bills might all hinge on this idea of a new stadium, right? The Buffalo Bills for a while now, and the NFL have told the Buffalo Bills, hey, you might need to get a new stadium. Even last year, Roger Goodell threatening that if the Buffalo Bills do not get a new stadium, that there is a possibility of there being no football in Buffalo. Now the Pagulas called his bluff, and then all of a sudden he retracted those words, saying, hey, well, as long as there's big time renovations at their current stadium. But I think that a lot of people in Buffalo, I think that the Pagulas do want a new stadium in Buffalo. It's just been the talk of the town for so long. You do have to wonder when that will take effect. And we obviously talk about a dome stadium compared to an open roof stadium, where in Buffalo should we put, how it affects the tailgating, yada, yada, yada. All those things are worth talking about. But in a year like this, when this pandemic's going on, we're not going to have tailgating anyway. So now is a perfect time to really start that transition. And New Era helps us out here a little bit and says, well, if you want to start this transition, you could do it with another team, right? Because right now we could say, New Era is going to be the name of the stadium until 2023. They're not going to renew in 2023. Well, that gives us a few seasons to build a new stadium. That gives us a few seasons to build a new stadium somewhere in the Buffalo area. So is that something that the Buffalo Bills, is that something that Terry Pegula and Kim Pegula are now going to seize that opportunity and try to seek a new location, maybe with a little bit more urgency than they were before? And that's something that I think is a fair question. Do the Buffalo Bills say, hey, now's a good time? Hey, Tillman, it will always be the Ralph to me, and it will be to a lot of other people, right? A lot of people will always view that stadium in Orchard Park as the Ralph, right? That's just the way it's going to be. So maybe now's the best time to move on from that stadium. Guys, I love that stadium. I feel the energy in that stadium every time I've been there, and I love the tailgate scene. I love the home field advantage, but stadiums get old, buildings get old. It's just a matter of time. Buildings get old. Now, you know that last season the Buffalo Bills did put in a new training facility right there at One Bills Drive. So even if they got a new stadium somewhere else, you know that they would still be going to Orchard Park using that new training facility. Maybe they use that whole facility as where they go to training camp. We know that the Buffalo Bills are talking about moving away from St. John Fisher for training camp, and this year, of course, they won't be at St. John Fisher for training camp. So maybe they use One Bills Drive for training camp, Orchard Park for their training camp facilities, and move someplace else. There are a lot of ideas here that really could spark your interest when it comes to New Era no longer renewing their contract with Buffalo Bills in 2023. 10-4 on the Ralph, says for me. Everyone's just calling it the Ralph, and that's what it is that's what it is to me. That's how I grew up referring to it, and I think a lot of people are there as well. Dome stadium shaped like a table, says Tony B. Hey, if we get a dome stadium, I would love to see them have like a dome stadium, like a retractable, and like just have the seats under the dome and still let the weather affect the gameplay itself. I think that one big key to the Buffalo Bills playing in Buffalo is that weather factor. You have to take that into account. Now, some would argue that that would keep some of the big stars from coming to Buffalo, right? You're playing in that cold weather. We've heard the story about Bruce Smith. We've heard the stories about Jim Kelly, how they did not want to play in the cold. That's just something they did not want to do. So would getting a dome really help out with that? Who knows? Who knows? Everyone talks about that Buffalo tax that the Buffalo Bills have to pay as well. Would getting a dome help with that? Maybe. But if it's shaped like a table, Tony B, let's hope it doesn't do what the Metrodome did a few years ago when the snow collapses, makes the stadium collapse. Tesla Stadium, start tweeting Elon. Hey, again, I think the Buffalo Bills are open to a lot of things when it comes to new naming rights. They have a few years here to get those new naming rights, but we'll definitely see how they do and what the process is going to look like, right? We really haven't had to go through this process in quite some time. You know, it was called Ralph Wilson Stadium. Obviously, no one owned the excuse me, no company owned the name to that rights. That was just named after our owner, right? And then at one point our old owner after he passed away. But then you think about War Memorial Stadium, it was still called that. And again, it wasn't called that because that was a brand name, right? So this is the first time the Buffalo Bills are really looking for this type of endorsement. New Era came to us back in, back in 2014. And asked us to change the name and gave us money to add those naming rights. Now we have to go kind of seek someone out and see who wants to build those naming rights. And are they willing to do it on an old stadium like this? Are they willing to do it knowing full well that the Buffalo Bills might get a new stadium in the next decade or so, if not less? You heard the contract, the New Era contract, 7 years. Well, are the Buffalo Bills still going to be playing in this stadium in 7 years? I think that's a very good question to ask. And I think that companies will want to know that before they go into a long-term contract. Because again, you look at the Mercedes Lewis Dome in New Orleans, right? Look at Dallas's new stadium when that was built. Atlanta's new stadium when that was built. They get more pop. Vegas getting their new stadium. They get more pop when you're talking about them in NFL circles, right? The NFL puts more attention on these newer stadiums because they're going to be bigger. They're going to be better. They're going to be more high class, right? And they're going to have things that the old stadiums just don't have. And so they're going to promote those. And by promote those, I mean they're going to talk about them more on NFL programming. They're going to feature them more in Sunday night football games, Monday night football games, Thursday night football games, maybe even give them a Super Bowl down the line. Now, it's going to be hard to convince the NFL to put a Super Bowl in Buffalo, but those are the type of things that you're talking about. So when you talk about name recognition, you want a big name out there so that way when the NFL does put in the glitz and glam, then they have that name recognition as well. Hey Juan, how you doing? Good to see you in here again. Tony, maybe we can get a discount on Josh Allen's contract if we include naming it Josh Allen Stadium. Who knows what it would take. I don't know if Josh Allen wants a stadium named after him. Again, a small town kid, but any chance to get a discount on Josh Allen after we just saw what Patrick Mahomes signed for, I'm going to take it, right? I'm going to take any discount we can get. Again, you add that game in there as well, so you get more games. So it's going to cost them a little bit more money to keep Josh Allen. So if that's what it takes, let's name it Josh Allen Tremaine Edmonds Trey White Stadium, and then we'll get that discount all around the board. I'm a fan of that. I think that that would help out the Buffalo Bills if we can get those players at a discounted rate. So I did want to talk about that for a little bit, but I also know that they're talking about that right over on Buffalo Fanatics live stream, so make sure you check them out as well. Maybe something actually in the city like Johnny B. And that's, New Era had a building in downtown Buffalo. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, they had to lay off a lot of their workers, and so we're just not sure what that's going to look like in the downtown Buffalo area. But yeah, New Era does have a headquarters in Buffalo, and that's why it worked out so perfectly. But now with everything going on with it, and you hope that that did not have anything to do with the decision that they made to part ties. You hope that New Era isn't in any financial trouble or anything that you'd hate for a partnership to end due to ties like this. But unfortunately, that's a question that has to be asked as well. What's going to happen? They may have to have it there this year. We're like the only state with declining COVID. I don't know, man. I mean, that's still hitting everyone hard, definitely here in the States. So you just want to make sure that you're being careful and just listening to all the CDC advisors and listening to their advice and trying to be as safe as you can be. But let's talk about Madden now, all right? I haven't had a chance. It's been a couple days since the Madden 21 ratings have come out. And I see Bills Mafia on Twitter, I see them on Instagram, I see them on Facebook, all talking about the Madden ratings. And guys, it seems like every year we're a little disappointed, right? Every year the Buffalo Bills get shown a little disrespect, and it's no different this year. Absolutely no different this year as you take a look at some of the players and what their ratings are. And of course, we're going to start with our first team All-Pro, Tre'Davious White, right? Tre'Davious White, you thought, hey, he'd be ranked pretty high, but maybe not as high as we thought, as Tre'Davious White is given a ranking of 89. Only an 89 rating for Tre'Davious White, not even 90, and that's just absolute Super Bowl in Buffalo by default. I would love it. I would love it to see that happen, Tony. I really would enjoy that a lot. I would love to see Buffalo be able to host Super Bowl. They have hosted them in cold places before. You talk about the Super Bowl in Minnesota a few years back. Talk about the Super Bowl in New Jersey when they had it at the at MetLife Stadium. So they've had it in cold places before. Would be interesting to see if they would hold it in a place like Buffalo. I would love to see it. It'd be really cool, and then maybe we could get the Buffalo Bills to play in that Super Bowl. So we do want to talk about the Madden ratings. And again, Tre'Davious White has to feel completely disrespected. He even came to social media, and it was really cool to see this. And for me, maybe it was just me, but lately I've been wondering about the Tre'Davious White contract, right? Been wondering, are we safe in thinking that Tre'Davious White is going to be a Buffalo Bill for the long term, or is this his rookie contract going to end, and the Buffalo Bills will have to franchise tag him, and then they'll be on bad terms, and he'll go to a different team? And I was just really concerned about that. Now, this past week, he did tweet out something about winning a Super Bowl for the 716. And listen, no one in the Buffalo Bills area code would be any more happy than I would be about that, about the Buffalo Bills, about Tre'Davious White, about this team bringing a Super Bowl to the city of Buffalo. As long as 99 rating Trey White shows up for the real games, they can make him whatever they want. Maybe I absolutely agree with you. And to be honest, that's what Trey White is, right? Trey White is a 99 rating every step of the way. I mean, let's look at Stephon Gilmore's rating for Madden 21 and compare that, because I believe that Tre'Davious White is better than Stephon Gilmore, and yet Stephon Gilmore gets all the accolades, and he is given a 99 rating on Madden 21. And it's just ridiculous that he's given that like 10 points more than Tre'Davious White. Stephon Gilmore is not 10 attribute points more or better than Tre'Davious White. I just don't believe that at all. I think Tre'Davious White is a better cornerback all around than Stephon Gilmore, and to see that kind of thing happen, to me, is just ridiculous. Now, you look at something like Josh Allen. Now, Josh Allen was given the highest rating as far as arm strength, even higher than Patrick Mahomes. I know that last year during the offseason they debated over who had the stronger arm, even talked about possibly having a competition to see who could throw it out of the stadium. I personally think it'd be a lot of fun to see that. We saw Josh Allen, after a touchdown last year against the Miami Dolphins, wind up and throw it pretty high up there. Didn't quite get out of the stadium, but he got pretty high up into the third section. So that was pretty cool to see. But I would still love to see them compete, see who could throw the ball longer. But according to the Madden ratings, Josh Allen has a stronger arm. But again, according to the Madden ratings, Stephon Gilmore is a 99 and Tre'Davious White is an 89. So how much can you believe what they have to say? I have to sneeze, so that's going to come up in a second. As far as some other ratings for the Buffalo Bills, Micah Hyde is given an 88, Jordan Poyer an 85, Jerry Hughes an 82, Cole Beasley an 83, Devin Singletary an 82. Stephon Diggs, I believe, is our highest rated guy at 92. Mitch Morse an 82. John Brown an 82. And Ed Oliver sitting there 81. Again, these are some, I think that Mitch Morse at a 82 is a little low. I think he's one of the better centers in the game. I think Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer always get disrespected, especially, I think we were talking about Jordan Poyer last year when it came to the Madden ratings as well. Always getting disrespected when it comes to those things. Tony Beacon says Allen is a beast, always gaming, never checking down. Well, sometimes he needs to check down. Right? Sometimes he needs to check down. I know that we love seeing him throw those deep balls. And listen, with Stephon Diggs there, we want to see him connect all the time. But he needs to know, Devin Singletary, he's a bad man out of the backfield. He can catch that ball. You got some tight ends with Dawson Knox, Tommy Sweeney. You can get some checkdowns in there and it'll be all right. Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds also feeling disrespected. Matt Milano giving a 79 rating. Matt Milano's giving a 79 is to me the biggest slap of the face out of any of these Madden ratings for the Buffalo Bills. We've seen what Matt Milano can do. We've seen how good this team is with Matt Milano at 100%. We've seen how bad this team can be in run defense, especially when Matt Milano's not in the game. So when you look at those things, real men don't check down. Well, then let's run some routes. They're a little bit shorter, so he doesn't have to check down, but those are the reads. You have Cole Beasley there, too. Let's not forget about him. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? Glad to see you in here. Josh needs to prove himself this season. Barring injury, he has to take the next step. Would love to see Josh Allen take the next 2 steps, right? We saw points in that Houston Texans games, and really the whole second half of last season where Josh Allen showed his leadership capabilities. Guys, remember, up 16-0 going into halftime, then trailing 19-16 with less than 2 minutes to go. Now, yes, he has the dumbest backwards pass to Dawson Knox I've ever seen, but he leads that team down the field to tie the game to go into overtime. He leads them on a game-winning drive. Guys, that drive was a game-winning drive. I still don't think that Cody Ford's block should have been called for a blindside block, but they called it. And I think that he could have avoided that block altogether, absolutely. But I just don't think that was a 15-yard penalty type play. But the ref saw it otherwise. But he did lead the Bills down into field goal range prior to that penalty to put us in position to win that game. It didn't work out that way, right? It just didn't work out that way. But you see his drive, you see his poise, you see his leadership capabilities. If he can continue to build on that, we have a strong quarterback for a long time to come. So I'm hoping that, as Promethean said, he does take those steps forward. When Allen owns in that long ball and it's game set match, there's no answer for a 66-mile-per-hour pass 50 yards down the field to Diggs. It's unstoppable. That's what Tony B says. And if he can get that down, if he can get that pat and be a threat with the deep ball, because let's be honest about it, I think that's what defenses are going to do to start off this season. They're going to make Josh Allen beat them deep. And that's why the Buffalo Bills called in Stephon Diggs, because they saw what defenses were doing to Josh Allen late in the season. Excuse me, guys. I thought I was going to sneeze. I didn't, but man, my nose is running. So we'll who knows? So hopefully I can last through the stream. So with Brian Dable seeing what defenses were doing, he was like, we need a deep threat. We need someone who can get downfield, who can really take a top off a defense, and even just be a threat out there. And that's why the Buffalo Bills are going to pick up a guy like a Stephon Diggs who can really take a top off a defense and make the defense have to adjust. And hopefully Josh Allen can continue to hit those long balls when they are open. I just remember his first pass in the NFL, the first preseason game. Some of you will remember this too. Robert Foster goes for a deep pass. It's the first pass of the game. And if he would have hit Robert Foster, or his first pass of the game, I should say, in the first preseason game in 2018, if he would have hit Robert Foster would be gone, right? But what happened? He throws it well out of bounds, and just doesn't give Robert Foster a chance to catch the ball. And it seems like that's been an issue his whole career so far. So get that under control, and then you'll be able to see what Josh Allen can continue to do underneath with Cole Beasley, with John Brown, with Dawson Knox, with Devin Singletary, and then still opening up over the top with Stephon Diggs. So let's talk more about these Madden ratings. Again, Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano, both 80 or fewer. I think that's the most ridiculous thing that I have ever seen. Josh Allen, how do you guys feel about Josh Allen being a 77 overall? I'm not gonna lie, I think that's a little bit low. I think he's definitely in the 80s, maybe 82, 83. Bills don't have superstars, just 111s who play together better than they should. What do you remember, Preethan? I don't know what you're saying. You remember? What do you remember? The 5th of was it the 5th of December? I forget. For all you movie buffs, you'll like that one. But yeah, I think that Josh Allen's rating of a 77 is also low. I would like to see him probably at 82, 83. You have his arm strength at 99. That's about right. His speed at 84. For a quarterback, he has great speed, great athletic ability. Obviously, as Bills fans, we don't want to see him running the ball as much as he does. And when he does run the ball, we definitely don't want to see him fumble. That's for sure. I think that a lot of Bills fans can agree that they don't want to see that nearly as often. But again, you got Devin Singletary sitting there at a low 82. John Brown is 82. I think John Brown and Cole Beasley both should be higher up there than 82 and 83 as well. Tell me he needs to earn the rating. Manny ratings are BS, says Kenneth Osborne. Yeah, like I said, I feel like every year we hear talking about him. Now, I think that, now I'm not much of a gamer, right? I think if you guys follow me on Twitter, I've talked in length before about how I'm not much of a gamer, whether it be Madden or otherwise. But I think now in Madden, what they do, if you're online with it or whatever, like they increase the rating or decrease the rating with the season, how the season goes. So that's a pretty neat feature, and like Tony says, you have to earn the ratings that you are given. So we'll see what he does. We will see what he does this season. But again, I think that this is a big time, maybe not prove it year for Allen, but we definitely want to see him take those steps, take those steps forward, take those steps up, and see what they can do moving forward. Because again, I think it was on NFL.com today. I was reading an article. I'm going to go there again to see if this is true, about the Buffalo Bills and what the expectations are for the Buffalo Bills. And I think that they were right. I think our expectations are to win the AFC East, even with Cam Newton in the division. I think anything less than AFC East championship and anything less than seeing Josh Allen develop into a better quarterback would be disappointing for us, right? Would absolutely be disappointing for us. I believe Josh is 77 for accuracy. I remember Allen too far. Yeah, I remember that. It was just a bad pass. It was his first pass, and you were like, oh, look at that arm. Just not that accurate, right? And we saw that with Zay Jones. We saw it with a couple other Robert Frost plays. We've seen it with other players as well. He just has issues with that deep ball. He had some pretty nice deep balls this past season. Remember that Denver Broncos game? That touchdown pass to John Brown was a nice one. And there are a couple more probably in there too that I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, the John Brown play against New England, Week 16. That was a beautiful pass when John Brown burned the 99 rated Stephon Gilmore. Man, if Stephon Gilmore is a 99, right? I mean, and John Brown just beat him like he stole something. Like, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I'll take it. But John Brown's only an 82, so. He has his new pistachio farm. He could send him his nuts to eat. Again, I would love to see Josh Allen show up. All the haters and all the critics. I believe Josh Allen. Oh, I already got that one from Promethean as well. But again, guys, as I said earlier in the stream, and Promethean, you were here for it, so I apologize for repeating myself. I'm just in a funk. I'm really in a funk right now. And again, I was really looking forward to coming on here and chatting with some of you guys. And I am. I'm having a good time doing that. But I think everyone gets this way every once in a while. And it's kind of hit me. It's kind of hit me with everything going on around the world. I don't talk politics. I try to stay away from politics because I think they're all a sham. I try to keep sports as entertainment because that's what they're meant to be. But yeah, I just been feeling out of it a little bit, so I hope you guys don't mind. Just excuse me with that when it comes to this stream. Like I said, I didn't plan on being on here for an hour. Not much to talk about. Again, we're at the time of the year where there's not too much to talk about. Madden ratings coming out, right? I mean, how exciting is that? You do know that about a month from now, Ed Oliver is facing his hearing for his what he got arrested for in Texas, so that's coming up. We got to keep that on our minds. Training camp is still scheduled to happen, right? We saw that the Players Association and the NFL did meet last week to talk about some things, and we hope that everything continues to work up. You know, we hope that they work together to figure some out when it comes to COVID-19, and we know that last we heard they were having discussions, a debate over whether COVID-19 should be considered a football-related injury or not. So hopefully get that figured out to the best of everyone's intentions. Obviously, I don't think it'll work out the best for either party, but I hope that they figure it out so that way we can get some sort of semblance of football this season. Whatever it is, I'm just not sure what's going to happen. But guys, we have you covered right here on Believers Talk. Even if there's not a football season, we do have something in the works, right? I'm preparing for the worst, and I think you guys will like what happens. If worst case scenario does happen, I think that you guys will like the plan that I'm laying out for you, and I'm not going to talk about it yet because we're not going to speak it into action, right? We're not going to speak it. Don't let life get you down. Have fun and always be yourself. I'm trying, Tony, but part of being yourself is being honest, right? Part of being yourself is being honest, so I'm just laying that out there. What are my thoughts on the Redskins having to change their name? I don't have any. They're not my team. Let me tell you this, though. A few years ago, the Buffalo Bills were for sale. And there were some thoughts that the Buffalo Bills might be moving to Canada. And I said then, and I meant it then, if the Buffalo Bills left upstate New York and moved to Canada or anywhere else, I would not be a fan. I don't follow a team for the players that are currently on that team. Me personally, this is just me personally. This is nothing to do with anybody else. I don't know or care about. I don't know or care about anyone else's personal beliefs. They're your beliefs, and you should have them, and you should be able to talk about them and have your opinions heard. But I was not going to be a fan of the Buffalo Bills, not because of the Bills name, but because of the Buffalo name. And if you had told me back then that someone was going to buy the team, they weren't going to move the team from Buffalo, but they were going to change the name from Bills to something else, I still would have been a fan. I love my city, and that's why I'm a fan of the team. It's because I am from Buffalo, and I love that city, and I support that city and any team that's in that city. Thank you for anything. I appreciate that. I thought that Kraft had taken all the hookers out of Florida, but maybe there's some left, or maybe he keeps them down there. But I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know what he does with them. So, but hey, if you have any extra, just don't tell the wife about them. Okay, she might get me in trouble, and I don't need any of that. Might get me in trouble. I don't need any of that trouble. I don't think that would help my mood at all. But yeah, if they would have told me that, hey, John Bon Jovi's buying the team, he's going to keep it in Buffalo, but he's going to call it the Buffalo Bon Jovis, I would have thought it was corny and dumb, but I would have been a fan of the Buffalo Bon Jovis because I love that city and I love people in that city. Washington's not leaving. For 20 years, you need to be a Bills fan and have a backup plan for the playoffs. Not anymore. That's pretty nice, Tony. It is pretty nice to do that. When it comes to teams, when someone asks me who did Warren Moon play for, I say the Houston Oilers. Who did the Buffalo Bills beat in the 92-93 wildcard game for the biggest comeback of all time? The Houston Oilers. Who did John Unitas play for? The Baltimore Colts. Well, okay. The Houston Oilers and Baltimore Colts are no longer teams in the NFL. Were they erased from history? No. We still talk about them. There's still DVDs about them. You could still watch their games. So As much as I hate getting political, that's probably the most political I'll get from an answer. And some of you won't like that, and that's okay. My opinion was asked for, not yours. But for all the teams that used to be in the NFL that aren't anymore, they're still talked about. The Brooklyn Dodgers, I just found this out recently. I think it was on Memorial Day when I did my Memorial Day episode. The Brooklyn Dodgers used to be the name of a football team. Not just a baseball team, but also a football team. They're not erasing history. So it's not erasing history per se. I remember that game. I remember that game. What a great game. What a great game if you're a Bills fan. But so those are my feelings on it. I know people will disagree with that, and you know what? That's fine. That's fine. The people that disagree with that, are you a Washington Redskins fan anyway, right? Like, what does a Buffalo Bills fan care about? Care about Washington Redskins fan? I mean, it's not my team. So good luck. Hopefully it works out. If you are a Washington Redskins fan and you feel like you can't be a fan anymore, come on to the bandwagon. Come on to the bandwagon. We're all okay with that. Come join the wagon. Join Bills Mafia. We're not that far from Washington, D.C. It's not that far. So come join Bills Mafia. We are more than happy to bring some more people on board. If you're a fan of the Washington team and you feel like you could still be a fan of them even though they're moving, then more power to you. I hate to let you know we're going to beat you every 4 years, and if we have to see a Super Bowl again, we'll beat you there too. But it's to each their own. To each their own, and that's one message I always try to convey. Which is why I try not to talk about politics on here, because I know everyone has their opinion, and everyone gets so butthurt when you don't share their opinion, and everyone needs to listen to everybody else, but no one needs to listen to anybody else. As long as you have your opinion, that's all that matters. And I just don't want to get into all that. I want to watch football. That's what I want to do. I want to watch football, and I want to watch it with you guys. So again, guys, make sure you join me every Sunday during the Buffalo Bills games, as we will be live streaming those as well. Talked a little bit about the Buffalo Bills new era stadium, new era, and Buffalo Bills, their terms coming to an end at 2023. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate that, and I thank you for the question. Coming to an end in 2023. So if you're not watching this live and you have a new name idea, post it in the comment section. Always enjoy hearing from you guys. The Madden ratings, they are what they are. I won't be playing Madden 21 anytime soon, not because of the ratings, just because I don't even have a system that would play Madden 21 right now. I have an Atari, so when Madden 21 comes out for like Sega Genesis, call me, okay? Call me, I got you. We're gonna play all day. Until then, I got nothing, right? I don't even know how to spell PlayStation, or what is it, Xbox? Are they still calling them PlayStations? I don't even know. Don't know. So you can tell how much I'm into gaming. So again, I'm not into anything. I'm not into politics. I'm not into gaming. I'm into football. I'm into sports, and maybe that's why I'm having such a hard time right now, because we haven't had sports in like 4 months now. But hey, basketball's coming back soon. Hockey's coming back soon. Not the Sabres though, because hey, 80% of the teams are back in except for us, because we're not one of the top 80%. Jack Eichel wasting a career. Man, I'm not bitter about that at all. Nothing either. I'm not even a little bit. But again, guys, thank you for joining me on this edition of Believers Talk. Always enjoy hanging out with you guys. Always enjoy spending some of my Thursday night with you. Hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun. I look forward, again, next Thursday we'll be live here again with some more Buffalo Bills news. Tomorrow I will be posting my Hall of Fame series video. Tomorrow it's on Thurman Thomas, the Terminator. So make sure you check that one out. And if you haven't checked out all the other videos previous to this one, make sure you check those out too. A lot of fun. Tomorrow's video I will be having a special guest. So if you want to see who that is, make sure you join me for that. But again, thank you guys for joining me on this live edition of Believers Talk. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Oh, wait, hold on. Got some more questions. I have plenty of time, so, if you guys have questions, that's great. Watch us get sued by the great-great-grandson of Buffalo Bill for naming rights. So, I was thinking about doing a video on the history of the Buffalo Bill, like the name, the Buffalo Bills. So, and I looked up Buffalo Bill a little bit, right? It was pretty cool to learn some things about him. He won a Medal of Honor. I didn't know that during the American Civil War. How he got the name Buffalo, how he got the nickname Buffalo Bill is crazy. In 18 months, he killed something like 4,800 buffalo for buffalo meat to feed the Union during the American Civil War. So that's just crazy to me. And it wasn't the American Civil War he won the Medal of Honor for. It was for the Indian Wars or something like that. They won the Medal of Honor for. So this is really cool stuff. So I was actually thinking about doing a video on that. But then I thought in this time, people might think I'm trying to make a political statement, which I wouldn't be. I just thought it's a cool name. And so let me know what you think in the comment section. Would you enjoy that? Would you enjoy a little bit of a history lesson going back and talking about the history of the name Buffalo Bills? Hey, Jack Patrick, the Browns should change their name to the Cleveland. Yes, Jack, they should. Although, no one. I shouldn't bring it up. Never mind. You're right, Jack. You're right. Enjoy Hawaii, Jack. You came on kind of towards the end. Believe me, they are doing us a favor. Absolutely, they are. They are. So, but again, guys, thank you for joining me on this edition of Believers Talk. Kind of a little short today. Again, not much going on in the terms of news for the Buffalo Bills. New era announcing that they will be no longer extending their agreement past 2023, and Madden coming out. Yay, Madden. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think. Got him, says Jack Patrick. But again, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below about a new team name. What you think about me doing a little episode on history of the Buffalo Bills. Hey, Juan, thank you. Everything, it always works itself out. Everything always works itself out. It's just sometimes tough getting there. So again, yes, on history lessons, this premier theme, we'll do something. We'll do something. But again, thank you guys for joining me on Believers Talk. Again, live every Thursday. So make sure you join me every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. I made a COVID rap on my channel. I'll check it out, Jack. I'll check it out. Hopefully you guys are all staying safe out there. Just stay safe. And I look forward to talking to you all soon. I look forward to maybe seeing you all at what the stadium once known as New Era Field. Like, what are you going to call it, right? At the Ralph. All right? Take care, guys. Let's call it the 716 Mafia Stadium. It has a nice ring to it. Again, maybe when that new stadium's built, we can do that. I look forward to seeing you all soon, talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.